Getting started with Strapi in 5 minutes. We're going to start by running npx create Strapi app at latest. This is going to go ahead and create a project in our directory. Let's give it a name. I'm going to call this My Strapi Project. We're going to be asked if we would like to try out the growth plan, which is absolutely free. I'm going to skip this option for now. We're going to opt in to use the default SQLite database, and we're going to skip the example structure data, starting with TypeScript. And we're going to go ahead and install all the necessary dependencies and initialize our repository. And we're going to opt out from the anonymous testing. This is going to go ahead and create our project and install all of our dependencies and initialize our Git repository. Once everything's installed, we'll be able to change directory into our Strapi project, and we could start our project by running yarn dev. This is going to go ahead and prompt us to create our first admin user. Let's go ahead and do that now. In Strapi, we first need to create the data structure for our content that we want to manage, which we could access in our navigation by navigating to the content type builder. We are going to create a landing page for our website. Let's start by single types, and we're going to call this home page. Let's go ahead and click continue. In our home page, we're going to add 2 fields. So let's click add field, and we're going to have field for our meta information. We're going to select the text input field, and we're going to call this title, and let's click add another field. We're going to select text field again. We're going to use long text, and we're going to call this description, and click finish. Now let's go ahead and click save. We want to give the editor the freedom to use different components to represent their data. For instance, you could have a hero section or features. We're going to create this using components. So let's go ahead, click on component, and we're going to create our first component, and we're going to call it hero. And we're going to create a blocks category to group all of our different homepage components together. Go ahead and click continue. And in a hero section, I added the following fields: heading, subheading, content, and image. I also went ahead and created another component for our feature items. Each item has title and description, and then I created a features component in our blocks category, which is a repeatable component of our feature item. Now that we have these, let's go ahead and add them to our homepage. We're going to go ahead and click add another field to the single type. We're going to select dynamic zone. We're going to call this blocks, and we're going to add components to the zone. We're going to use existing components, which is going to be our hero section and our features. Let's go ahead and click finish. Now that we have our homepage, let's go ahead and click save. Now I went ahead and navigated to our content manager and added content for our homepage. Once we have our homepage data, we have to enable that in our API. Navigate to settings, go to users permission, roles, click on public access, and we're going to navigate to homepage, and we're going to enable the find method, which will let us make a get request to our API homepage route and get the data. Let's go ahead, hit save, and test our endpoint. When we make our initial GET request, notice that we're only getting the title and the description. To prevent overfetching, Strapi requires that you tell exactly the items you want to return from the API. You could learn more about it in our Strapi documentation, but we're going to populate our blocks, including our image and our features. We're going to go ahead, use this query string, and make the request one more time. Now notice that we're getting all of our data. We're getting our title description, but we're also getting all of our blocks, our hero section, as well as all of our features that you could see here. You could easily deploy your project using Strapi Cloud. To deploy your project, you'll click Create Project, pick the free plan, select your repository and your project, give it a name, my project, pick a region, and go ahead, click on Create Project. This is going to go and deploy your project automatically that you'll be able to visit once it's done. If you'd like to learn everything you need to know getting started with Strapi, you could check out the Strapi crash course that I did on my YouTube channel. I'll make sure to link in the description below. It's over 3.5 hours of complete tutorial of everything you need to know to get started with Strapi. Or you could check out our Next.js and Strapi 5 demo by clicking Start Your Demo, filling out your basic information, and clicking Access Live Demo. This is going to generate your project demo that you could check out. You will have access to the Strapi admin. Once you log in, you will be able to see the dashboard, as well as the front end built with Next.js. Feel free to check out this project. And if you want to have access to the code of that project, you could go to our Strapi GitHub repo for our Launchpad, either clone it or you could fork it. This way you'll have the code available to you to use to start your next project with Strapi.